Danny Garcia versus Shawn Porter. We pick the winner next. Please like and subscribe. Help us hit 10,000 subscribers. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you think. Welcome to Tuesday Night Fights. We're breaking out of that boxing lull that we've had the last few weeks. Not a lot of big fights, but a big weekend of boxing to get into. We're gonna break that all down for you. We're gonna pick some winners. Danny Swift Garcia and Showtime Shawn Porter in the most notable fight in the weekend are gonna battle it out for the vacant WBC welterweight belt on September 8th. Of course, that's on Showtime in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. We've gone back and forth on this. Originally, I said to you I was leaning ever so slightly towards Danny Garcia. And I said I was going to change my mind at least 10 times before I gave the official prediction. Keith Thurman also gave his prediction, in case there's some younger listeners out there. Keith Thurman was once a welterweight boxer who he beat both Danny Garcia and Showtime Shawn Porter in very close decisions. Keith Thurman, once upon a time, was considered one of the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, but obviously he doesn't box anymore. But having fought both these guys, he picked. He gave an odd pick. He said either Garcia knocks him out or Porter wins via decision. And he said he's leaning towards Porter. This is a tough. I don't really follow that. I figured if anyone could score the knockout, it would be Porter. And if anyone could win a decision, it would be Garcia. That if Garcia was to win, he'd win via decision. But this is a really interesting fight. Garcia is a really good boxer puncher. He's a really good counter puncher. He does a lot of, well, he's going to have, I would think, we're going to see it, he would have a hand speed advantage, although, you don't know that until they step into the ring. He's going to have to not engage Showtime Shawn Porter. He's going to have to hit and run. He's going to have to establish his jab. His jab is going to be crucial in this fight. Don't get caught up against the ropes. And he's going to have to use his legs. Garcia is sometimes weak, a little bit weak to the body. Sometimes it seems like he doesn't like it when a fight gets ugly. You saw that, and he beat Rios handily. I don't want to say handily. It was a good fight, but he beat Rios clearly before he knocked him out. Right? He was winning the fight. It was a little bit competitive. Rios made it ugly. You can see that Garcia doesn't really like it when you make it ugly. He may have to hit Porter low to keep Porter from coming in. And I'm not saying it is a dirty way, but just to slow him down, right? Because Porter's gonna bum rush you, right? Like Porter's going right after you. And Garcia doesn't want to be in that world. So he's gonna have to use his legs. He's gonna have to use his jab, and he's gonna have to use his brains. He's gonna have to stay off the ropes. And he's gonna have to tie Porter up. The referee is gonna have a big responsibility, and he'll play a big role. If he lets Porter grind away and fight on the inside and lets them fight their way out of it, that's an advantage for Porter. If he breaks him up right away, then that's an advantage for Danny Swift Garcia. So we'll see how all that plays out. If Garcia stands and fight, he's not going to come up on the winning side. Garcia marks up badly all over his face, and he doesn't really take body shots well. You saw him get walked down by Lamont Peterson. Peterson hurt him with body shots and tightened that fight up late. We did score for Garcia, barely, but Peterson made that fight really close late by winning the later rounds and wearing him down to the body. That's something that Porter's going to have to do. Porter's going to have to pressure Garcia continuously. Force him to fight 3 minutes of every single round. He's going to have to work the body. That is just like Garcia's key to winning was firing that jab, using his feet, using his legs, and using his brain. It's easy. The plan for the blueprint for Porter is easy. Just work the body and grind away. Just go at it 100 miles an hour for all 12 rounds. Rough them up, fight hard, hit him to the body, hit him, just hit him. You know what I'm saying? Just make this a scrap. Make him fight 3 minutes of every single round and make him fight hard. So this is interesting because Garcia can kind of play both roles. He can play the boxer and he can play the puncher. Porter can't. Porter can only play, bull in the china shop, right? And I love Showtime Shawn Porter, but he can only fight one way. Can Garcia make him uncomfortable? Well, I think this is how it goes. I think Garcia wins early using his legs, using his jab, and he builds up a lead through the first 5 or 6 rounds. A sizable lead. Let's say through 6 rounds, it's 4-1, 4-2, or 5-1, or something like that. He'll have a sizable lead. I think after that, Porter will start to get to him. Porter will start to frustrate him. I think Garcia will hit him low a few times to try to stop him. I think there may be a point deduction there. And Porter's really going to start to impose his will. He's going to start to impose his will. He's going to start to slow him down. He's going to start to hurt him to the body. When he hurts him to the body, he slows him down. He takes away his legs. And then he can punish him up top as well. You're going to see a switch, like a light switch go off in the middle rounds. And Porter sees control of the fight in the second half. Garcia will try to get back on his horse, use his legs, outbox Porter, and keep him away. And it's going to be a constant contrast. I think Garcia dominates the first half of the fight. Porter dominates the second half of the fight. I think Porter scores a knockdown late in the fight, maybe the 10th round, when he's got Garcia hurt. Garcia makes it through the round. And then the last 11th and 12th round or so, he'll totally be on his bike trying to outbox him. The 12th round, we may get some toe-to-toe action. But Garcia game plan, he's going to be up early, right? So Angel's going to tell him, look, you have plenty of rounds in the bank. Just win these rounds. You don't need a knockout. If Garcia is smart enough to listen, or does his heart take over and stand toe-to-toe with Porter? That's what we're going to find out. So my official prediction is this is extremely close. We're going to have a controversial decision. I'm ever so closely eking just towards Showtime Shawn Porter, and I'm going to give you the scores. This is going to be 114-113 twice for Porter and 114-113 once for Garcia. That's how close it's going to be. The knockdown that I'm predicting is going to be the difference in the fight. So keep that in mind. Again, this may be so close and so controversial that we may actually have to do a rematch. That's how close this fight is going to be. Again, initially I was leaning towards Garcia, and then I said maybe Porter takes it, and then up until late last night, I was still leaning towards Garcia, and officially I'm going with Porter. I'm going with Showtime Shawn Porter by the most narrow of decisions. 114-113 twice, and then 114-113 the other way. Also, that night, also Saturday night, other side of the country, in California, there's another card. HBO is putting on Superfly 3 with 115-pound division. On the undercard, Donnie Nietes is fighting Ashton Palikde. This has got Fight of the Year written all over it. Nietes has put together a Hall of Fame career, hasn't lost in 14 years, dominated 108 pounds, 112 pounds, and is now on pound-for-pound list, right? Palikde is a super strong, super powerful, big 115-pounder who has a massive punch, and he likes to scrap. I expect Palikde to not only win a strap at 115, but to win a strap at 118 as well. He's big. He's just, he's one of the bigger 115-pounders I've seen. Now, this is an all-Filipino matchup, so that's going to be interesting. I don't know how much this is going to move the needle for the casual fan or the part-time fan. I would imagine they're not going to watch it. But, look, I'm telling you, if you don't want to watch the main event with Estrada, at least watch the undercard, okay? Because Ashton Palikde is a special fighter. Watch his destruction of former champ Jose Alfredo Rodriguez in December of last year, December of 2017. That was his last fight. The power is real. Good speed, good fundamental skill. He's a come-forward fighter. He's an action fighter. He loves to scrap. This is a possible fight of the year. And I know a lot of you guys aren't into the really small weight class, and I get that, but this is a fight worth watching. I'm not sure how many people are going to watch it, especially with the other fights on. You have college football that's starting. Well, it started this past week. I just don't know how many people are going to tune in to HBO to watch this fight. But, that's a different story. And that actually brings me to my... I'm picking Palikte to win that fight, by the way. I'm picking the upset. I'm taking Palikte to hurt him and stop him. Probably, I'm going to say officially in the 9th round. That's the official prediction. Palikte pulls the upset over Nietes in the 9th round via stoppage. Now, I have a question and I don't know how many of you guys have Nietes on your pound-for-pound list. But if Palikte does stop him, which I'm predicting, and I'm pretty confident Palikte is going to win. So if you're a gambler, whatever, I watch these 115 pounds, 118 pounds. I'm into these divisions. Palikte is really good. If Palikte does beat Nietes, he does stop him, and Nietes is on your pound-for-pound list, do you then put Palikte on your pound-for-pound list? That's something interesting to look at. Finally, bringing me to my final point. Is HBO done with boxing? I mean, I'm 35 years old. I don't, my whole life, world-class boxing was on HBO. It's just not the case anymore. I don't know if they're done. Are they pulling out? Have they surrendered to Showtime and the other apps and whatever it may be? And if they are, then that's fine for me. The other networks will pick it up. The other apps will pick it up. And I'll just drop HBO. I mean, I don't really watch movies and stuff. I watch boxing, and I watch football and basketball. I don't really, and baseball. I don't really watch other stuff that's not sport related. I have a couple shows I watch, but I don't need HBO, right? The only reason why I need it is for boxing. If they drop boxing, great. Save me some money. I'll just drop HBO. It's no big deal. But if you look at the cards they've given us, they don't give us high-level fights anymore. Obviously, they gave us the Canelo. They've given us Munguia, right? The Canelo and Triple G, which on pay-per-view. They've given us Munguia fights, which are fine. But Lucas Matisse versus Tira Kiram. Now this fight, the main event is Juan Estrada versus Felipe. I don't want to say this wrong. Felipe Oracuda. Look, I like the smaller weight classes. If I said to name my favorite weight classes to watch throughout my lifetime, I would say my favorite's the middleweight division, and I would say bantamweights. Maybe super flyweights. I like the smaller weight classes. There's a lot of action. They throw a lot of punches. There's not a lot of holding. They're really skilled, right? And you have to fight through. You don't get too many you do get some, but you don't get a ton of one-punch knockouts, right? You don't get a ton of holding. They're good action fights. They're the perfect combination of action and skill in this small weight class. And I enjoy it as a hardcore fan. I really like 115-pounders, 118-pound fights. I'm not into this fight. I don't even know who Felipe Oracuda is. I had to look him up on BoxRec. I'll check him out on YouTube and stuff, but this does nothing to excite me. And I know if it does nothing to excite me, I know the rest of the casual fans and most of the hardcore fans, this is going to do nothing for them. And they've really done well with the Superfly fights. Chocolatito Gonzalez, Sorung Basai, Estrada himself too. They've given us really good fights on these cards, but this does nothing. I mean, I understand why HBO wants to buy up these fights and not the Kovalev rematch, right? They don't want to buy the Kovalev rematch because it's going to cost them a lot of money. And they don't want to spend that money on boxing. They can buy this fight. They can buy these smaller Superflies for pennies on the dollar, right? They just don't have to pay these guys, right? I'm sure that there's local television rights back in the Philippines and that they're getting paid off of. So they can pay these guys relatively small chump change compared to what they'd have to pay Kovalev, right? They're not picking up the Kovalev rematch from what I understand. So this is what HBO is going to offer us. They're going to offer us Canelo Alvarez, Jaime Munguia, and super flyweights. If that's the case, I mean, you guys have to decide if it's HBO for you. I don't know if you guys watch Game of Thrones or whatever. There's other reasons why you'd want HBO, but it can't be for boxing anymore, right? They just don't give you anything. Lucas Matisse and Tira Kiram and Juan Estrada versus Felipe Oracuda. I don't, you know what I'm saying? This is not worth anyone's, whatever I pay for HBO, $25 a month. It's not worth it, right? You give me a handful of fights, and I'm paying $300 a year for it. Like, that's silly. They don't really give you anything. 100% real, to keep it 100, in reality, Facebook gives us better fights than HBO does. Think about what I just said. Facebook gives us better fights than HBO does. They really do, right? The good fights HBO gives us, Triple G versus Von Monterosian, like, yeah, good. We got to see Triple G. Who the heck did he fight? He fought a 154-pounder who hasn't fought in 2.5 years. I mean, that does nothing for me. And who lost to every good fighter he ever fought at 154. That did nothing for me. You know, Lucas Matisse versus Tira Karam, that does nothing for me. Jaime Munguia and Beefy Smith, I mean, that's the best card they've had all year. On HBO, I'm not talking about on pay-per-view. They don't have Top Rank anymore. PBC and Al Heyman's blowing them out of the water. So, what's left for HBO? They might be done with boxing. When Facebook is giving you better fights than HBO, you're in trouble. I mean, that's just, it is what it is. Your days of boxing are probably done. So let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts, comments below. Is HBO getting out of the boxing business? Is it just going to have a couple of Canelo fights on pay-per-view? And have a couple of fights here and there, kind of like the Bounce Network? Or will they rebound? Why are they not buying the Kovalev fight? And then let me know what you think of my Garcia Porter prediction and my Palik Day upset. Predicting the upset special. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts, comments below. Remember to like and subscribe. Help us get to 10,000 subscribers for Tuesday night fights. This is 3D Boxing signing off. Thank you, and God bless.
Enjoy 3D Boxing vlog videos? Show us some love by clicking the like button. Don't miss a tweet, post, story, or video. 3dboxingvlog.com is also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hit the subscribe button now to stay inside the ring.